It's so very, very heartwarming to see so many of you here who are very obviously dedicated to children and to improving the lives of children. So thank you for that. I am involved because I've had the honor of working with Ann Haralambie on a national basis for many, many years. Ann has devoted her life to children. She's written several books and certainly has represented children in her state of Arizona, but also has really been an advocate for children throughout the country. I have been involved with the American Bar Association and other national organizations also because that's my passion. My passion is children. The reason I serve on our state's highest court is truly because I have a passion that is children. And so I share your concern, and thank you so much for that. You know, I think about this issue, and I think about how really, really traumatic it is, because so many of us, and myself included, send our children, the most precious amongst us, to organizations of religious organizations, spiritual organizations. I had the good fortune of sending my children to a Methodist church, and I really depended on that church to nurture my children and to instill things within them that would help them become happy, productive members of our society. And so many of us have had this experience, and it's resulted in a positive thing. One of my sons, who was exposed through the Methodist Church, became very involved in Young Life. And to this day, he's a senior here at the University of Texas. It's been a very positive thing in his life, and it's been good for him, you know, and he really got into that without my pushing it. That's what he wanted to do. And so a lot of us have seen the positives associated with that. And what does that mean? So when that very institution that you have sent your child to grow into an adult who's going to be happy and enriched is actually harmed by that institution, then what a betrayal. I can't even imagine those of you. I was talking to Bethany a moment ago, who had a very, very interesting life story that I hope she can share with some of you. But that kind of thing was actually the negative things was happening in her own home. And so many of us are unaware that that goes on. And maybe we're naive, you know. Maybe it's just something. I have a degree in psychology. I don't think I'm naive at all. I know that kind of thing goes on. But I think that we don't know the numbers. We don't know the extent of the issue. But that's what's so wonderful about what's happening today, because attention is being brought to this issue that clearly can have such impact, such negative impact on so many people in such a variety of ways. You know, on our court, we deal with a lot of abuse and neglect cases. In fact, over half of our emergency mandamus docket deals with abuse and neglect cases. And we expedite those matters. I guarantee you, we are very, very concerned. There is no case that our court hears that we believe is more important than those cases. But of those cases, very few of them, very few, in fact, right now I can't recall any since I've been on the court, have dealt with abuse and neglect in the situation involving a religious institution or an institution that Bethany was telling me about that occurred in her own home. I don't recall one. Now, it is true, several years ago in 2008, we had the case out of San Angelo where over 450 children were abused based upon religious doctrine. And certainly that was eye-opening to the court, believe me. And as a result of that, the court created the Permanent Commission for Children, Youth, and Families in Texas, which is a leader throughout the country and is very well respected because of the attention that's paid to abuse generally. But that stemmed from that case that came out of San Angelo. So I applaud you, because what this is going to do, and you all know this certainly more than I do, but it's going to raise awareness, and that's what needs to happen. Because when awareness is raised, then this problem can be dealt with, and we can learn more about the numbers. We can figure out how prevalent it is. And I think that it will help people, well-meaning people, who may be a little naive, that maybe that kind of thing is happening in their own institutions, in their own communities, and well-meaning people who just simply are not aware. So thank you for what you're doing. Thank you for being here today, and thank you for committing your life to the most vulnerable amongst us, our precious children. Thank you.